If you ever looked at your schedule and thought to yourself, how am I supposed to fit in reading, writing, phonics, read aloud, book clubs, then you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to fit everything into your literacy block, regardless of the time you have, whether it's an extra 30 minutes to run your book clubs, or you have a full 45, 60, or 90 minutes for your literacy block. Stick with me until the end. I'm going to show you a few example schedules that will help you actually visualize what your schedule could look like. Hey teacher friend, welcome back to my channel. I'm Molly and I'm a 5th grade teacher who likes to help teachers just like you streamline your literacy block using the Daily 5. And today we're going to break down how we can fit everything in a realistic way. I'm in the classroom too, so I understand the struggle. I know a lot of times we're visual people and we just need to see somebody else do the thing that we need to do, but we're so isolated in our own classrooms that we don't often get to do that. So when you watch my videos, that's my hope, is that you see how I do something, or teachers that I've worked with, and you can tweak Daily 5 to make it work best for you. Let's start with the time crunch reality. I know most teachers are expected to cover so much in your literacy block. There's likely a phonics or word study lesson. Depending on what grade level you teach, that might be called something different. When I taught primary, it was more phonics. When I got to 5th grade, it's word study. Regardless, you're responsible for that time. That might look like a mini lesson. You might also have a whole different writing block that's not part of your Daily 5 time. I know I kept those two things separate, and no matter what grade I was teaching, and in 5th grade, that's a whole different section of time because I want Daily 5 writing to really be that creative writing time. And the writing whole group lesson is going to be different than the reading whole group lesson, which is something you're responsible for in your ELA block. And I like to do that before Daily 5 even starts. There might also be other mini lessons that you're responsible for, so I would look at the structure of your curriculum, and usually they've gotten better throughout the year, so you can see a breakdown. The timing will be different depending on what kind of instruction you like to give. But I like to kind of block that time knowing that I'll have enough time to get to my Daily 5 stations, which means I can pull book clubs. It's overwhelming because there's so much to cram in during this literacy block time, and elementary teachers are expected to teach every single subject. And I know that is a lot. I've done it now for 12 years and I feel the stress that you feel with it. But I promise if you have a schedule, it will help with the chaos. So how do I structure my literacy block framework using the Daily 5? So Daily 5 is just a way to simplify decision making in your classroom. You will know that you have the word work lesson or word study lesson, you have a whole group lesson, and then from there your students are trained on all of the stations. That's the majority of what I talk about here on this channel, and I have a video for every single station if you want to dive deeper and learn how to set those up. So it's all about building stamina at the beginning of the year and letting students feel that sense of independence. If we give a little bit of autonomy in this process, it pays dividends in the end, because choice along with responsibility is what Daily 5 is all about, and your students will love the marriage of those two things inside of your ELA block. I would recommend that you really double down on building stamina and don't let that go. You have to beat the 15-minute mark for every station, and you also need to follow through if somebody's not doing their job, because if you set this up in the wrong way at the beginning of the year, it's never going to work the way that you want it to. But if you follow through, you say what you mean and you mean what you say, your students will know that you're reliable and that they can count on, if this happens, then X will happen. And in the meantime, the majority of your students are going to just absolutely love that they feel like they have a choice during Daily 5. They're going to love the books that you pick if you're teaching upper grades. If you're teaching lower grades, they're going to love that individualized attention that you can give in small group while you're teaching them how to read. And you'll love getting to know your students in the process. When we strictly teach whole group and we're not pulling kids back for tier 2 or any type of intervention or enrichment, I don't know how we could authentically get to know our students, because there's so many of them that are shy. They're not going to speak up in a whole group lesson, but they will when they come back to your table and they feel it's safe to talk about a book. book. It's important to make the time for these small groups and not rush. And that's what I love about Daily 5. It allows you to do that if you follow a schedule. So that's what I want to talk about with you next, is how to fit that all in. And seeing other people's schedules has really helped. I post these a lot on TikTok and Instagram, and I know we've even done a couple schedule videos that were more in depth on YouTube. So let's go through that sample literacy block schedule that could work for K2 teachers or 3-5. And that's going to have, on average, about 4 stations. I know it's called Daily 5, and this is what really trips people up. They think, well, there's 5 stations. I have to do all 5. You can do 2 if that's all you have time for, 3, 4, 5. It really depends on how long your literacy block is. So in that time, we're going to have work on writing, word work, book club, listen to reading, and read to self. Some teachers like to do read to someone. That's another choice you could have as well, but the majority of your choices are just going to be those, and you can get creative with them though. Even when I taught kindergarten, my kiddos had puzzles that they would do that were learning based, because we were working on fine motor skills as well. So you could have P for puzzles. And that's what I like about having an editable smartboard chart where my students know exactly where they're going, and I train them on every letter. So if it does say P for puzzles, they know where they're going. WW is word work, and so on. When your students know the routine and have choice, everything runs smoother, including you. You're going to feel less stressed, less overwhelmed. Having a plan that's predictable every single day is the key to making your literacy block work. And that's why I love Daily 5. It is the system. It is the structure and framework of your ELA block. It's not what you're teaching. One thing that I like to have every single week, and I print my Daily 5 planner because I'm kind of old school in that way. I like to physically write, and I also use the same page for my anecdotal notes that I keep during that particular book club as well. And I might write it on a post-it, slap it on the back, but it's great conversational pieces that I can have and remember what we talked about in every book club, but also during conference time, I can go back and look at those notes so that I can have really detailed notes inside of my parent-teacher conference folder so that the parents feel like they really understand what we worked on during that time. If you're more of a digital person, the Daily 5 planner is completely free to download. You'll get the paper and the digital version, and I even created a YouTube video on how to edit it inside of Google Slides. So I'll link that down below, the planner and the YouTube video that goes along with it. If you like having Daily 5 completely planned out, you know you want to do work on writing prompts, you want all the anchor charts done for you, you want to do handwriting this year, whether it's print or cursive, and you just want to have a system that is just done and dusted, then the Daily 5 toolkits are the perfect solution for you. It's everything I've ever used, whether I was in the lower grades or the upper grades, all in one. So I have a K2 bundle that has the print handwriting worksheets, all of my writing prompts, and everything that you could possibly need if you're doing Daily 5 in those grades. And then inside of the 3 through 5, it's the same thing, but the prompts are different. I also have cursive handwriting pages, all of the anchor charts, all of the systems and processes are included in that. So check those out in the links below. What's your biggest struggle with getting Daily 5 set up? Let me know in the comments below, and it's likely that you aren't alone. I might already have another video that's all about that, and I can send you quickly a link, or I can make a video just for you. This video topic actually came up from an Instagram stories poll that I did, and people wanted to know more about how to get their literacy block up and running smoother for the coming school year. So I hope it helps you. Share it with a teacher friend if it did. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.